with me story time edition. I done already took my bath and my face is clean, so I think that's why we have to use this astringent. Y'all see it, it's good old witch hazel, nothing fancy. I am using a cotton ball because I ran out of my cotton rounds, and y'all see me wiping real hard. It's because I'm feeling real insecure about this cotton ball. But nevertheless, people really think that if they wash their face is clean, but there is always some residue, dry skin, dead skin on your face that you need to remove, exfoliate, okay, before you put on any type of makeup. Now, I am using a concoction that Google told me to create when I had a little breakout. Is to help remove bacteria off of your skin. So in this bottle, it's a regular 99-cent little travel bottle that I got from Walmart, child. Y'all know it. It is tea tree oil and apple cider vinegar. I use that to also remove bacteria off of my skin, child. Y'all remember when I had that bad breakout? It was in that video with my baby daddy. I'll put the link up top somewhere. But nevertheless, that really helped keep my skin clear and help to fight and combat those horrible breakouts. I'm not a girl with perfect skin, but I'm doing the best I can. Y'all can see it's all right. Okay, now all that stuff be a little wet. I don't like to be wet. So I have this fan, okay, and I'm just dry off a little bit before we get into the next step, which is actually moisturizing. The next step is moisturizing. I know all my oily girls out there gonna say, girl, I don't need no moisturizer. My skin be so oily. But let me tell you something, okay? Your skin is oily because the skin likes to be wet. And if you don't apply moisture, your skin will produce more sebum, therefore making you extra shiny. And that makeup gonna slide right off your face. And child, whether or not you have on makeup, you don't want that oily, that extra oily skin. You want a little glow. So I use this e.l.f. moisturizing cream and syrup. It got a little hemp in it. Now, I don't smoke no weed. And the people say the hemp don't have the THC in it. But whatever the case, it's good for my skin. You could try it if you want to. It's real cheap. You can get it from Target or Walmart. Girl, I get that face all moisturized and good to go. Okay? Get in there. Yeah. Y'all know I'm so goofy, but that's all me. I know, I'm coming. I owe y'all a story time. It's coming. Just bear with me. We just trying to get y'all through the foundation part of the makeup routine. Then you can follow along visually as I tell y'all the story time, child, because I got a lot to tell y'all. It's been a minute. Now, listen. Girls, y'all need to also use a primer, okay? Especially if you are those girls that like to take the pictures. You don't want you don't want to be shiny. You want that makeup to stick on there, and you want to have a good like undertone under your makeup, right? You want your makeup to stick to something and you want it to look good. So use you a nice primer. Find one that works for you. Again, I'm using e.l.f. products. They work for me and they cheap. All right? They real cheap. And baby, let me tell you something. I am not one of the makeup girls, okay? I am not one of these influencers who is secretly trying to become a crayon cutie. I ain't got no money to be spending on makeup like that. So we going to get it from the drugstore. And I'm going to share this makeup tea with y'all, all right? Now, this is the moment that you all have been waiting for. Y'all here because y'all be asking about these brows all the time, all right? So everything that I'm about to do now is all about this brow. Get into it. I will say this before we get into the story time. Do not use a black pencil for your brow. Make sure you are using a dark brown pencil. It makes all the difference in the world. Those hard, dark brows are not in anymore. They're out. They're out. And don't line your brows on the top and the bottom. Line your brows on the bottom, fluff up the top. Okay? Now y'all ready for this story time? Woo, child. I feel like I haven't been on here with y'all for so long. It's almost been a year to be exact. We have so much to catch up on. So I need y'all to go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because we about to get into some things. Y'all know what we do over here. What we talk about? I heard y'all say it. What? These motherfucking relationships. All right. Now, girl, let me tell y'all, if y'all follow me on the other platforms, y'all know that it's been almost a year and a bitch has been in a relationship, child. But let me tell you, it was a hard road getting here. All right. Child, I thought I had met somebody before I met the boyfriend that I have now. And baby, Oh, baby, he was putting me through. You hear me? We gonna talk about it. Can we talk about it? Y'all type yes in the comment section below. But let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever dated or met a full out narcissist? Lord, I think I did. So it wasn't last year, because all of last year, pretty much all of last year, I was dating my boyfriend, but it was the summer before that. If you know me, then you know. Let me tell y'all what happened. I was minding my business. Y'all know what I be doing, working, child. And one of my friends, an ex co-worker, called me and was like, Inno, he called me Inno, let's go out. I was like, I can't. I'm working my side job. I'm working my part-time. I'm at the strip club. I'm going to be at the strip club till about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tonight. He was like, come on, let's go out and have a drink. I was like, I really don't want to do it. But I hadn't seen my buddy in a long time, and it's always a good time to chop it up with that group, him in particular. So I was like, all right. Baby, he had made it to my house before I even made it home. All right. He was so serious. It took me a long time to get dressed, as y'all can see, because I got to do all of this stuff. All right. By the time I came downstairs, my boy was asleep on the couch, but we still went out. So we ended up going to this little place in Camp Creek. I don't remember the name of the bar, but I know it's like a bar. Maybe it's like Blue Cantina, or y'all keep me honest. One of them over there is Blue Cantina, or the other one. Can't think of the name of it, but you know, that bar that everybody be going to. And we in there just chopping it up. And I am a person that observes everything around me. So when we initially walked in, my eyes were drawn to two groups. It was three groups, actually. Three groups. It was a group of men that was at a table, standing around a high top table behind us. It was four men. Then next to that table, it was three women. Two of the women were younger. One appeared to be considerably younger. And then there was one woman that seemed to be like a middle-aged woman. It was giving auntie niece vibes. If y'all have grown nieces, y'all know. It was giving auntie niece vibes, right? And then we sat at the bar. Directly to my right was a couple. So there was a couple. The man was sitting on the bench, and the lady was, doing her thing in front of the man, and they was having a good time. And me and my buddy, who's a man, by the way, a big man, a big heterosexual, cisgendered man, right? We just chopping it up at the bar. So the auntie of the three top was cutting, baby, she was cutting up. She was dipping low. She was spreading it wide. Auntie was getting it like, she was like, I ain't been outside in 5 years. I just got divorced. I'm an empty nester. All the kids off at college, and my oldest child just made me a grandmother. I'm outside. And the niece said, come on, auntie. Because she was, y'all could tell them types, right? So auntie was going around a whole place just dancing on everybody and having a good time and enjoying herself, while the couple to my right was really in their own zone, and the girl was really just, entertaining the guy. He was sitting back and enjoying all that. While the guys behind me, the four guys behind me, they were kind of into their own thing, but it looked really, casual. They were being social. They were just being guys, right? So when auntie started moving around, auntie made it to the couple that was to the right of me. And baby, auntie was dipping it low and spreading it wide. You hear me? She was all over that guy. The guy was so excited that she was all over him. And then she started dancing with the girl. Now, I don't know if there was a couple, or if they was just on a date, or there was husband and wife. I don't know. But they was giving me, we'll take her home vibes, because at some point, that guy started sending auntie drinks, okay? He was liquoring auntie. He was like, can we take her home? That's what it was giving. We are in Atlanta. Everybody be doing a little swinging thing or whatever. Y'all ever had a threesome? Let me know. Drop down in the comment section and tell me. I want to know. But it was definitely giving, we going to have a threesome with her tonight. So keep that in mind, because that is important. That's key to this, to the development of how I met this guy, right? So auntie started moving around. Auntie done made her way to the table of four men directly behind me. Now remember, I'm just paying attention to auntie. I am not paying attention to the four guys, and me and my buddy chopping it up. Now my buddy is always checking for my relationship status, and I think that all friends do that. He be like, you got a boyfriend yet? Because that was a big deal. Y'all know that I had been crying and pining about not having this boyfriend for a long time. But I got one now, okay? Oh, my cousin's so tired of hearing me saying that. My man, my man, my man, my man. Because I don't care. I don't care. He good to me, and I'm going to let y'all know it. Okay, but anyway, back to the story. So auntie made it to dance with one of the guys that was at the table with the four guys, the four top, right? So he was handsome. In that moment, I didn't realize how handsome he actually is, right? So he was dancing with her and she was dancing on him. Remember, I told you Auntie was dipping it low and spreading it wide. Auntie was outside, okay? Matter of fact, Auntie was definitely giving I Work Out with Effect Fitness, baby, because she was squatting and pulsating. Anyway, that caught my eye. So when it caught my eye, I looked at the guy and he looked at me and we caught eyes. And when we caught eyes, baby, he did a little extra dip on Auntie, like as if to show out, like, I'm sexy type of thing. I just say, whatever, turned around and I'm talking to my friend. So me and my friend talking. And when I turned around to my left, that guy is now to the left of my friend. He done made it to the bar. And he is eyeing me down across my friend, like over my friend. And it was so obvious. And I was like, this dude don't even care if this my man, if I'm with him. This could be my husband. He don't care. But, that's not my husband, not my man. I've never been intimate with my friend. That's just my homeboy. Put that out there for clarity. So I pushed my friend back and was like, this is not my boyfriend. You could say hi. Shit, it was over after that. He was like, what's up? So my boyfriend was like, that's what I'm talking about. That is the that I know. That's the that I know. All this shy, new age, soft girl, I don't know her. I know the that is aggressive and to go get and be saying what she want. So I'm like, me and the guy, we started talking. Now, let me tell y'all something. This way it went wrong, and I should have stopped right here. Typically, I will not be calling this person by their actual name, but he has so many names that we just gonna call him by the names that he called himself. So now we all at the bar together, me, him, and my friend. And my friend, says, oh, hey, what's up? What's your name? He say, oh, my name, Rico. So we go, oh, I'm Joy, that's Mo. Where do you live? You live in this area? He said, yes. He said the little town that he live in. I live in that little town. I jokingly said, we must be neighbors because there isn't many residential communities in this area. If you know the area, then you know. So we chuckled and laughed that off. He said, what do you do for a living? I said, oh, I'm a buyer. My friend said, oh, you ain't gonna tell him about your other stuff. You ain't gonna tell him about your... No, nobody needs to know all of that. You don't need to know, about this little community over here. We're such a small community. I get it. Y'all like it here, but we're a very small community in the whole, grand scheme of things on social media. So that's not something I ever lead with, right? He said that he had a consulting company. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Now, y'all know professionally, I'm very familiar with the process of, consulting, bringing on consultants and things like that. That's what I do. That's in my wheelhouse. So I was excited to get to know him and to talk to him. We exchanged numbers. We chopped it up a little bit, but that was that. I didn't talk to him immediately via telephone because I had a lot of stuff going on and it just wasn't a priority. So maybe a week or two went by. And then I received the phone call. Now, y'all know, don't mess with Apple, baby. Apple iPhone will bust you out every time. You can't lie. You can't lie no more. The iPhone, baby, they keep track of everything. They're telling everything, all right? Ladies, y'all don't even have to go through the phone no more, baby. iPhone is doing it for you. That was a side note, but I had to share that part. So I get a phone call, and the phone number's coming through. I had not saved the number, and it's saying Q. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name right, but if y'all know him out there in them streets, it said Q Matisse. I think that's how you say it. So I'm like, who the fuck is this, right? So I answer the phone, it's him. So I immediately said, how we get Q out of Rico. I'm trying to figure it out. Like how we get Q out of Rico, where that name comes from. And he said, well, I have so many names that I'm just uncomfortable with all my names, so I just be like, call me Rico, and because I'm Dominican or whatever, it's I'm like, whatever. I should have stopped right then. I should have just stopped. I should have stopped right then. But you know what? I gave it a little grace. You know why? Because when I meet people, I be like, oh, they be like, what's your name? I'm like, Joy. I don't walk around telling people, oh, my name's Lerner Joy, because I am not Lerner. If you know Lerner, then you know why I'm not Lerner. I'm Joy. She's Lerner. I'm Joy. So I had gave him a little grace, but I was definitely giving him side eye through the phone. So I was like, look, what your mama call you? What your mama call you? I'm gonna call you whatever your mama call you, because all these aliases, they don't sit right in my spirit. And my spirit was already shaking. I should have just stopped right there. But I was like, you know what? So you met somebody, he a little cute, he got something going on. Figure it out. See if this if you could work with this. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he said with his mama calling. And he was like, well, it's hard to pronounce. I'm like, pronounce it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, ain't nothing wrong with my tongue. on my throat, on my teeth. I can pronounce. I can enunciate. I can pronounce a lot of things. Just say what your mama call you. He said Danilo. I'm like, oh, okay. I can say Danilo. What's so hard about saying Danilo? I'm like, well, I'm gonna call you that. That's what I'm gonna call you. Moving right along. We talked for the next couple of days, maybe like another 2 weeks before we even saw each other again. Mind you, I now know that he lives very, very, very close to me, as I said on the night that we met. So eventually, he came to my job and dropped me off lunch. Red flag number two, he was so late. So we talked earlier in the day, and he was like, oh, I'll bring you lunch. What do you want? I was like, Mose. Now, y'all, the proximity from his house to Mose to my job, I promise y'all, it's not even 30 minutes. My boy showed up about 4 hours later. Baby, it was dinner time when he came with that lunch. Okay, it was time for me to go. I was about to go home, but I was like, you know what? I'm grateful because I ain't, I'm not the girl that had all the men knocking down my door trying to bring me lunch. So I was grateful. I was grateful for the effort. But let me tell y'all what happened. When I walked up to that front door of my office building and I saw him outside, he was 7 times more handsome than when I saw him in that club. I swear, I felt like the sun was shining on him. Like he was so y'all know what it looked like when a new penny is like on the sidewalk and the sun is shining on it. My boy looked like a new penny. He was so handsome. I immediately felt a little intimidated, or so I thought. I thought that's what I was feeling, but now I know that's not what I was feeling. That was just God. That was my discernment. Like, girl. But anyway, so that was that. So after that, we still talking. We still haven't met up. We still haven't went out for like a date or drink or nothing. But we talking. It was cute little talk. It was talking. It was talking. Normal questions. The normal get to know you questions. He was so evasive about answering normal questions. So, you just talking like, how old are you? I don't tell people my age. Why? He was like, because when I tell people my age, then they start sizing you up. They start feeling like, oh, you should have this accomplished by this age, and you should do this and this and this. And I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out who it is I'm gonna be fucking. Like, it ain't even that deep. Like, I'm trying to give you some pussy, and it don't make sense for me to not know who I'm fucking. Like, what's your name? What's your age? What's your sign? Like, that's normal things, right? But I don't think my boy was getting that, right? But okay. So then, just connecting with him was like really, really, really hard. According to him, he lives with his mom, or his mom lived with him, and she was having some knee surgeries and having all this, and he was like running around working and doing all this stuff, and then taking care of his mom, I guess, right? So it was like super hard to connect with him. Now, let me tell y'all something. This is when I realized that he was a gaslighter. Now, I do not diagnose anyone as being a narcissist quickly, but I was like, okay, what am I dealing with here? So I had kind of like was like, okay, I can't connect with him, and I was a little disappointed about it because the conversation was pretty good, and like I told y'all, he handsome. Now that he is handsome, but my boy looked like a shiny penny, a new penny, the sun shining on it. But anyway, so I was working out one night late, and he just so happened to call me, and he was like, "Why are you working out so late? What's on your mind? Something on your mind? You need me?" And I was like, "I don't need you. Cause I don't even know you. I don't need you." But he was like, see, that's what women go wrong right now. I'm asking you if you need me, if you need something from me. You telling me no, but you do. You want to do this. And I was like, what? Hold on. I'm having a whole argument with a man that I'm not even with. I don't even know you biblically. I don't even know you. Why are we even having this much of a conversation? I'm like, I don't need this. So we got off the phone, and I texted him. I was like, look, I'm not your bitch. You're not my nigga. I don't need to be having no argument with a nigga that's not even my nigga. So I can exit stage left. I don't need this type of shit in my life. Like, this is too hard. Like, it's too hard to connect with you. This man texted me back and was like, that's sexy. Now, that's what I want. That's sexy. I'm like, that is the craziest shit ever. Like, that is crazy. Like, I don't need to be in those type of relationships. But, child, I ain't leave. I was like, okay, maybe it's me. Because, y'all know I hadn't been in a relationship in so long. And I'm listening to all the podcast people. And I'm chatting with my homegirls. And they're like, Joy, maybe it's you. Maybe you should really give this guy a chance. And maybe, see. So I'm like, okay. And I'm talking about, it was 100 red flags just flying all over this situation. But I was like, okay, I know that I told y'all about how we finally went out on a little date, or so it was supposed to be a date for my birthday, and he showed up late. Then I've seen him in two cars. He showed up in a raggedy car. I'm like, why But okay, who shows up to pick up a girl on their birthday in your raggedy car? If you got two cars, don't you pick them up in their good car? Y'all comment below and let me know if that ever happens to y'all. But here is the kicker. He made me feel so non-important on my birthday that he showed up here. He didn't come to the door. I came outside. He was on a call. So he said it was a business call. He was on a call halfway to the restaurant. I don't even think that he really acknowledged me. We get to the restaurant and I'm telling y'all, I think he made himself sick. I'm not making this up. So we get to the restaurant. We got seated. I was like 3/4 through one drink and the appetizers had just came out. Now he ordered something that I'm pretty sure he fucking knew that he was allergic to. My boy started eating that, and all of a sudden his throat closing up, his eyes bulging, his lips bubbling. I'm like, oh my God, we gonna end up at the emergency room. Okay, we're gonna end up at this emergency room. Why you already had a first aid kit in your car with Benadryl in it? Now that I'm thinking about it a year and a half later, I'm like, did he do this shit on purpose? I think he did, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I think I met a full out narcissist, but that wasn't even a kicker. It still wasn't over. So I'm still trying to like wrap my mind around it because I'm like, nobody will fucking kill themselves just to get out of a dinner that you said you wanted to go, because you could have left me alone. I could have been out having birthday fun, have I wanted to have birthday fun. Like, who would do that? Okay, but here's where it got good, y'all. So many things, so many disappointing things happened in the midst of trying to build a relationship with this guy, but it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm not making this up. Mind you, I keep telling y'all, he lived around the corner. Okay, so he lived around the corner, and now we go on a little lunch date. So we was on a little, it wasn't even a lunch date. I was going out for lunch, and he just so happened to call me while I was going out for lunch. And he was like, where you going? I'm like, oh, I want to go to Gumbo's. If you've been in Atlanta or you live in Atlanta and you frequent the Douglasville area, y'all know Gumbo's is where all the New Orleanians like to go. So he's like, oh, I'm out that way. I'll come and meet you and have lunch with you. I'm like, okay. Now at this point, I'm just like really trying to just feel you out, like figure you out. So we go to the restaurant and I'm still, asking him the probing questions like, do you have kids? Or I don't tell people about my kids. My kids is grown and all this and that. I'm like, okay, how old are you? I don't tell people my age. I don't want people to measure me by some unrealistic expectation. I say, look, just say you married, say you got a situation going on and you're uncomfortable sharing all these things and we can move on, right? He was like, I'm not married. I don't have anything to hide. You can Google me. Y'all, that's important. He literally told me I can Google him. So in my head, I'm like, nigga, how am I going to Google you, bitch, when I don't even know your fucking name? You got 16 names. Which one of these names is real? But that's okay, because I did. When I went back to work, y'all know I be busy doing nothing most times. So I had a lot of time on my hands. So I started investigating, okay? So he had sent me a flyer, and the flyer had his business listed on it. So I started there. Why did I Google him and this nigga popped up as having been on fucking TV? TV. You're a whole public figure out here in this world, and you telling me you're a small time consultant. So I was like, why would he downplay his business to me? Like, who am I? Like, why would he downplay being stable or having a stable business practice or having received some type of success, in his area of expertise? Like, who would do that? Red flag number 99. But I was like, okay. I talked to people about it and it was like, Joy, it's you. You're not used to being vetted. That's what it is. Like, you're being vetted and you're not used to being vetted. But baby, I was like, this is all crazy. Now here is the kicker, y'all. Let me tell y'all. So all this stuff was going on all for the whole year until this man finally said, well, I've been keeping something from you. I'm like, what? I'm going to jail. Jail? Now I'm like, okay, this is serious. He going to jail. Yeah, I have to turn myself in. I'm like, on when? I don't know. What jail you going to? I don't know. I'm going to jail. Which jail? The jail. I'm like, oh, this is too difficult. So I'm asking my friends, like, when do you find out where you have to turn yourself in? They're like, Joy, every person know that. My boy said that he was going to jail for a whole year. And I was and now I'm invested. I'm like, okay, bump every other disappointing thing that I've ever experienced with this guy. I see that he's really trying to work hard and he has some other stuff going on. Nobody deserves to go to jail for what he was explaining that he was going to jail for. Now, I done paid the $3.99 for the verified background check. Baby, let me tell you something. My boy got 99 aliases. He done been through all type of things, okay? And he is in fact going to jail. But he was adamantly telling me that he going to jail for 1 year. He went to jail for 2 weeks. He went to jail for 2 weeks. Week number one, he called me. He called me a couple of times because y'all know when y'all go to jail in this particular county out here, it's free to make phone calls until you like booked and transferred. So one day, at his usual time that he would call, I'm waiting for him to call, baby. He never called. So I called the people. Them people say he was released. My cousin said he might have been released to the jail where he's going to do the year, like to the prison or whatever. But people say released. He walked out. He left. I say in 2 weeks, and then my boy popped up like none of this shit didn't happen. But y'all gonna have to hit subscribe because we gotta have a part 2 as I tell y'all about these dating scammers in Atlanta. Okay.